and welcome to Let's Have Cocktails. I think you do it on purpose now.
She does.
Nikki does it on purpose. But, so, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Let's Have Cocktails. And we're going to jump right into it. Today's episode is discussing relationships.
Yay.
Okay, so before we get started, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the ROXIPE of the day.
So the ROXIPE today is just 2 ounces of kinky vodka, 2 ounces of simply lemonade, a dash of blue curacao, and it's topped with 1.5 to 2, leaning on your tolerance level, ounces of Hennessy. Yeah, and it's delicious.
It's good.
It really is. Yeah, this one is good. This was a totally new drink for me, and it was really good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so moving on, we hope you all are trying our ROXIPEs, and also feel free to let us know what you think about them. And also on today, ladies, we have special guests with us. It is our close friends, Rah and Dee. Yay! Woo!
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we thought it would be a great idea to have them on with us today, as they are a married couple, and none of Let's Have Cocktails. We're not married.
Good advice, though.
So they'll be jumping in throughout the episode. So, just something new. So, guys, to jump right into the topic, relationships. Don't y'all love them? Okay, so I guess to start it off, because our last episode we talked about dating. Mm-hmm. So now we're moving into relationships. Mm-hmm. So my question to you all, what is the difference for you between dating and relationships? So now you're out of the dating stage. Mm-hmm. What signifies that you've moved into the relationship? I mean, don't all speak at once.
I mean, for me, is as mentioned last time, is the expectations of the person that you're now in a relationship with. So, I mean, you have that expectation, which you probably don't have while dating. Mm-hmm. And, a sense of loyalty, a sense that they will be there when you need them.
Right. And Nikki, what about you? What are some expectations now that you've moved from the dating stage to the relationship?
I mean, to me, once you put a title on it, I agree with Ashley that, you expect them to be there more. And it's not all about you anymore. Right. Like, even in dating, you can still kind of be a little selfish. But when you cross that stage into a relationship, it's really, you can't say, oh, it's about me. It's what I want. No, it's about us.
You
can't just pick up that one food.
Right. Look, if I go into the store and get something and I say, hey, I'm about to go get something, so, and you don't say you want anything, I know not to walk out that store without anything for you.
Please don't. Not with me. No.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Roxy, what about you?
I'm just gonna second that motion of it just being more, about us instead of it just being just about me and what I want. So definitely the expectation goes through the roof. As far as, when I need them, I expect them to be there. Not just, when you're dating, it's kind of lax. Like, if you want to go, if you want to do, if you want. But when you're in a relationship, it's more like, we going to. So, just those differences. Nothing too major, I guess.
So, pretty much y'all are saying, like, the availability things like that.
Right.
It switches. Yes.
Definitely.
Well, you can include communication too. So if I'm just dating you, I don't owe you a conversation about where I'm going, where I'm coming from, things like that. Oh, I went to work today. You don't have the right to say, well, where did you go after that? So once you get into a relationship, I'm asking you because I want to know about you, your day-to-day interaction, and maybe there was something out of the normal that does cause you to have some flags and things like that. So it's a difference between when I'm dating you, I'm still trying to get to know you. It's like the first step into, like you said,
The relationship?
No, it's like a stage. It's like you're opening the first door to
it's
really getting to
about
know
us.
me,
It's
about us.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
it's
the
about
first
us.
stage to us. Is us having that communication stage, and then anything else, it becomes obligation from that point. And that I'm willing to take on or I'm not.
Okay, now this is coming from Rah, a married woman.
That's
So I'll
But
take it.
I'm just gonna say that I expect to be able to ask you about where you been when we date.
How many dates has it been though? That's what you want to know. How many dates can you start saying? Well, I mean, I know you came home from work, but what you did in between that, because it took you 2 hours later.
Well, I'm not trying to calculate you down to the T, but I mean, I've been to work today.
Well, how was work?
Okay.
What did
I
you
know
do?
that you went somewhere else
what
or
happened?
something. Something. I mean, not to the T.
See, I have a funny way. Like I'll get answers by asking questions that may not necessarily
Indirectly, right? Yeah.
So that's gonna while I'm dating. Now, while in a relationship, where were you at? I know it. I know it. This much
So
time.
basically, when you dating, you try to catch him in a lie.
No, I'm not trying to catch you in a lie.
You probably- okay.
No.
We're just having a conversation.
I'm having a conversation, and this is the part of me where I say I'm very observant, and I tell people that I'm dating from jump that look, when I'm asking
start
you,
to switch up.
I'm always observing everything. Just know when I'm asking questions, it's not just for the hell of it. I'm never just asking just because. But in relationships, I'm asking direct questions, or I'm just looking at you because I expect you to tell me.
Right.
So when you walk in the door, if you late, I'm probably just sitting there. I'm giving you the opportunity to just, walk in the door and be like,
Before it comes to a thing, right?
right.
So she's not saying she need a long dialogue on what you did, but just like, oh, I'm running late because
in a
It was
relationship,
an accident.
I stopped and
so
got some gas.
The traffic was bad.
Yeah.
right, because in a relationship, I just feel like you should know me at this point. So if you're not home by a certain time, like while you driving, you be like, man, let me call babe because I already know
Right.
she worried or this.
Right.
You should know me, because if I have to reach out to you, yes, I'm probably gonna have attitude because you should have known to reach out to me prior to me reaching out
Right,
to you.
and that's about communication. It's not about me checking you checking me. It's just about having a conversation. If you can't pick up the phone and say, hey, babe, I'm going to be 2 hours late, then I also look at that and say, that's disrespectful, to some point as well. But like
I
me,
had to work late.
like me, a lot of times I'll tell her I'm on my way. It's 5:30. I'm still sitting in the office. It's almost 7 o'clock. And I'm focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But as soon as I jump in the car, I'm like, hey.
And that's why you got to answer those questions while you dating.
But
Right.
you have to mentally have a buffer for whoever it is. Like, if I already know the person I'm with runs late, I'm leaving right out. It's gonna take me 5 minutes. It's 25
like
minutes.
30
I gotta know.
minutes.
You gotta know your math.
Now you gotta know your work.
You gotta know who you
your
with. You gotta know who you with.
Yeah.
Because that's like
That's
30 minutes to an
exactly.
hour for somebody I know.
Because I'm going to tell you, if I'm with you in a relationship and you come in 2 hours late, or you, like you said, Dean, you get caught up in work and then you're like, oh, look at the time. When you pick up that phone, I assure you, you're going to have about 5 or 6 messages from me, a couple of voicemails.
Wow.
And they're probably not going to be too nice.
So what is your late threshold?
Huh?
What is the threshold of late for you?
It depends on the purpose, on the person. But most people that I date or that I'm in a relationship with, I'm the late one. They're typically very punctual. So if you are a punctual person and I know that you pay attention to time, that's what I'm saying. I observe and I know my partner. If you fucking with me, just know I know you. So if you 2 hours late and you ain't normally 2 hours late, you better have a damn good excuse. Because I'm going to call you out on everything. Like if you tell me you working late, what was the project? I haven't heard about... You know,
They
like,
can really be working late. You don't have to go into details. They were just working late.
Okay, that's for you.
But I'm saying, like, sometimes you do get caught up.
Yes,
Right? And so if you really do get caught up and I'm working and I'm like, well, it's a new project, I haven't even talked about it yet, you're gonna be like, that's some bullshit. I don't wanna hear that. Tell me the truth. And you're like, that's the truth.
But most people that I'm with, they know me, so they know, man, let me hit Anika, because I know I don't want to hit her damn mouth. So, you know, they're going to know.
Yeah.
So
they don't even want to do that. So let me go on and nip that in the bud and say, listen, I know what time I said I was going to be there, but...
Yeah, now I understand things happen. I know, like you said, sometimes you really are not paying attention to the time. Or I work in corporate America. They can call a meeting and you're caught up in the meeting, whatever. I get it. So yeah. So relationships, expectations change. We know that.
Absolutely.
So, what about like plans, like making plans and things like that?
Are you talking about like me making plans with my partner or me? I got plans with friends.
Both. Does that change
It definitely does.
when you get into a relationship? Because you know sometimes. Well, just what are y'all thoughts on it? You know?
For me, like if I got friends that's making plans and I'm in a relationship, my thing is, all right, let me make sure, let me run this by the person I'm with to make sure they don't already have plans. Because if they do, hey, I can't make it. That's why I can't wait to get married. Because I can't wait to say, well, let me ask my wife. She said no.
That's
So you just want to use it as an excuse because you don't want to go anyway.
Exactly.
Listen. So
now I know when I ask Ashley to go somewhere and she
Just
married.
go to her wife. Go to her wife first. Don't go to her. Go to the wife first.
Right.
But plans with my partner. I mean, so what do you mean by like planning?
Because, you know, sometimes, like, let's say, just like you said, like, if, let's say, your friends or coworkers are like, oh, let's go to happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
And you like, cool, we ain't have nothing planned. Let me just run it by her first or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she hits you up and she's like, well, I made dinner reservations. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and
Well,
you
I
like,
can't go to happy
Yeah,
hour.
I can't
Right.
go to happy hours.
I
That's
can't
it
go.
for me.
Yeah, but next time. Next
Oh,
week
okay.
or something like that.
Well, what about you
Absolutely.
then? And so what,
Apparently, that's not
Right,
what
that's
you
no, I'm not saying it depends, like, how often have we been going out to eat to dinner? Like, I'm just not gonna throw my friends or hanging. Well, if it's coworkers, yeah, I'll throw that aside. If it's like let's say my best friend's like hitting me up, I really need to talk to you. Let's go to happy hour, or whatever.
That's different.
That's different.
So, yeah.
That's
if it's
different
just
from
leisure, right? If my friend be like, hey, Ashley, what you doing? We bored, let's go out. And I run it by the person, and when they be like, well, I already had plans. I'm like, hey, I can't go. But if one of my friends call me and it's an emergency or they emotionally, mentally going through at the moment, I'll be like, hey, babe, you know, my friend needs him right now. And hopefully the person I'm with will know, like, hey.
well,
Now,
what's
that's
the
gonna take
deposit
off.
on the reservation? I'm just saying. Okay. All right.
But you might be at that reservation by yourself. That's the thing.
So what do you all say? The married Rah Dee. What's your take on it?
So for me, if I'm in that situation, I'm gonna make sure that if she calls and say I have reservations, I'm gonna. It goes right back to the communication part because, you know, is it something that's special that you're celebrating? I don't know if I don't ask those questions, I don't know. She may have had those plans a long time ago, or it could have been spur of the moment. Maybe you got a promotion at work, you want to celebrate it with me, This person just wants to hang out, and we can laugh and gossip when we get back to work, or we can do it later on if it's not, something pressing.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I feel like
I
that's
100% agree.
Yeah.
That you and it goes back to communication again, right?
Yeah.
You gotta communicate constantly.
So what I'm learning, key to a good relationship is communication.
Absolutely.
That's really interesting. Because you do have those people out there that really feel like, I'm an adult, don't question me.
Right.
They really have that mentality that they don't want to be questioned or told what to do.
I have friends that are in relationships and they still have that mentality.
But
like,
the
do
thing
not
is,
question
it's
me.
not about questioning you. Like I said before, at some point, it's about respect. Because if I'm 2 hours late, whoever I'm with, they should be worried that I haven't called them. When they trying to call me, they can't get a hold of me. So it's about communication at the end of the day.
Yes.
And it's about a respect thing as well.
So, and speaking of like that, with the communication, I went out of town, and I like to go to the casino.
defect.
So this is funny though. So I like to go to the casino, and we check in like maybe at least once an hour when we're away from each other. Just you're out and about. I'm in Memphis, so anything could happen, kind of thing.
Especially in Memphis.
So she's checking on me, and we talk a lot. We talk to each other when we're away. We talk when we're home. So communication is really big between us. And I was so frustrated with the situation that I had went to go help out on that I was just like, I was talking to her for a minute. I told my sister I was going to the casino, but I didn't think to say anything to her about it. Thought I was going to be in and out before we talked again or whatever. So did I leave my phone? No, my go in the casino, the signal doesn't work in there. So I'm sitting there. I didn't look at the time. So it was like 4 hours later.
Oh, you went in there and started parlaying and had a good time.
So when I realized it was 4 hours later, I was like, okay, everybody should be, kind of getting back home or whatever. Let me get back to where I need to be. This old lady started talking to me, and I ended up talking and laughing with her. And as long as she was putting the money out there, I was gonna keep on laughing and talking with her. So when I finally got a signal or something, and I felt my phone ring, and I ran outside, and I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know it was so late. That's how I started off the sentence. That didn't matter. She had to call my mama, my brother, and my sister. She called my sister back.
We talk every, she'll even just text me or whatever. And it's like, no, that's weird. I haven't talked to her in 4 hours. And then when I call her mom was like, no, I haven't heard from him. They were supposed to be together. Then I called her brother, and he was like, nah. And then I called her sister. She was like, nah. But the whole time, she knew exactly where she was.
But I hadn't told my sister, like, I wasn't expecting. I was like, why didn't you tell me?
Automatically roll with
that's exactly what happened.
I told you where I was going.
She was like, I ain't know if you were out there doing your thing or what.
Yeah.
I was like, really? So you wouldn't tell me? She was like, no.
You seen Roxy?
right.
No.
It's all about blood. It's the blood.
I'm sure she could have at least said, oh yeah, she went to the casino.
Or she could have said, she usually when she's down here, she goes
She
to
said
I
nothing.
told her, I did not say it was a secret. I just was like, I was venting.
But the fact that your wife is calling her, she like,
and so I'm freaking out. Like, this isn't normal for her to not talk to anybody in her family. So then, like, probably about 30 minutes later, I think your sister got in contact with you or something and said, and the thing was, I paged her at the casino.
Oh, that's how I found out. That is exactly.
You had to go
I had to go that far.
That
I
was
had
me.
to call the front desk
that would be
and have them page her.
Wow.
4 hours late, and I done reached out to your family, and no one knows exactly where you are.
But the great part is, when she paged me at the casino, I was still in the casino. So I called her immediately. And she knew it. Because my mind went, just go ahead and drive somewhere else, and then like you was at the store and you didn't know. I was like, and then I was like, no, why am I lie? Like we don't lie to each other. Like why come up with something elaborate when all I can say is my phone
I
didn't
lost
work.
track of time. I was in the casino gambling,
That didn't
having a
matter.
good time. Drinks
I
was
was
flowing.
still, regardless, I was still pissed because you could have said, I'm going to the casino.
But her being pissed caused my mom to like me and my
snapped
mom
on
are
you.
close.
She
And I was
snapped
down
on you,
there.
didn't
Huh?
She snapped on you, didn't it?
My brother and my mom met up. My mother's a whole witness, so she ain't trying to go to the casino to go look for nothing. But she was like, I'm on my way. Yep. And they met up. I was like, I'm on my way. They was like, meet us on the side of the street before you even get home. I was like, mind you, she's all the way in Texas and I'm in Tennessee. But I was going to my brother's house. I mean, my brother and my mom, like the entire trip, I just was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
4 hours is a long time.
That's a long time.
That's
I would be worried.
Have y'all ever been to the casino?
I
It's like 20 minutes.
too. My sister gets wrapped up like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, she's still not back.
Yo, I thought I lost her one
And I
time.
called people like,
I was like, and it was that next morning. I was like,
the next
I thought
morning.
she was in the room.
And
She
I'm
was like, no.
I
I said, I thought she left me. She was like, no.
I've been in a relationship with somebody that loved to go to the casino, and I had my black ass right there with him, getting all them free drinks, and then I'd be like, "Babe, I'm getting tired."
And that's the only way. Like, but I used to go to the casino a lot, and then I just stopped. And I was like, yeah,
Probably
and I'm doing
because
it.
it's not just like close here.
What? No, that hour didn't matter, and when I liked it, but it's just more so like I don't go to really gamble as much as I go to
It's the atmosphere.
to talk to other people, different walks of life. I get to communicate. I like to talk.
I don't like
100%.
talking to people.
Why not? Good.
At the casino? No.
No, I mean not.
they be
they-
at the
they talk-
table.
well, most people
Oh,
talk
at the
to
table?
me.
She do
They
tables,
do. Like,
and
they
they act
give
like
nick-
by the end of the night
They
they
give
best
you
friends.
nicknames. They give you little tokens and stuff.
Here,
Yeah, it happens to me.
here's a $50 chip, and I'm looking at
I'm
her
like,
like, what
oh,
you have to
word?
do to get that $50 chip?
You just want to know what you got to do too to get that $50 trip.
I like that. Okay, so we're pretty clear on plans, whereabouts. Just once again, communication.
Yeah.
Communication is key. So this is a little different. So when in a relationship, what does it mean to you all in a relationship when it's about cutting people off?
You mean, what you mean?
So, like once you get into a relationship, are you cutting off friends? Are you cutting off exes? Are you cutting off people that you were friends with benefits? Like
Family.
You definitely cut off friends with benefits.
Friends with benefits.
Like you definitely cut that off.
Like what?
Like,
Is
but friends, you don't cut off your friends because at the end of the day, your friends gonna be there when their relationship ain't.
what if you're friends with an ex?
Okay, you set
You can
boundaries.
still be friends.
Okay.
You set
Yeah.
boundaries.
Friends with
There are
us,
boundaries,
I feel
but
like.
when they start coming and getting disrespectful, then you got to show them
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree because I have exes that I'm cool with.
Right.
Like we could talk and they can call me. We talking about their partner or their wife or husband, whoever now, and that's totally cool. But if they call me with some, actually I miss you or whatever, then that's.
That's
Now I have to cut you off, or you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like now you're crossing boundaries that you shouldn't cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or
do you
sending pictures and
immediately
stuff.
cut them
Don't
off?
do that.
Oh,
Or
send
is that
pictures.
a conversation?
Is that a warning?
Baby,
Well, you
that's-
know what? A good
no.
question is: do you communicate that? Like if an ex call you and hit you with that, I miss you, I whatever. Do you go back to your? Do you just cut them off, or do you go to your partner and say, hey, I just had this conversation with my ex. It went like this.
I'm gonna just cut them
No,
off.
I have a conversation with my
No.
ex. I don't go back to my partner unless they come back after that conversation.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'ma handle it. Cause
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about this. I got this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But if they do it again, then I'm gonna let you know,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
At that point, they're being disrespectful.
Because if they come back around and I find out, I would like to have, I would like for my partner to be like, babe, look, she tried this once, and here, look, I cut her off. I said, you know what I'm saying? And so now that she's reaching out and doing this, that's being extra good. Okay, I'm not upset with you, but I am upset with her. You see what I'm saying?
So the person that called the ex and said, okay, I still have, I miss you. Those could be true feelings that they need to purge to get rid of whatever they have.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean just because I say, oh, I missed you, I miss what we had, I think about it. That doesn't mean that I want you back. It just means that I can reflect on what I messed up in our relationship. We need to have that closure conversation at some point, or you're going to have those what ifs. And now that what if is going to come and hunt you, because that person will pop up at the
now. See, but that's on your partner's discretion to say, like the conversation that we had. Look, she's having these feelings. I at least want to have a conversation with her about it. And so we had a conversation about it. All right, because you're mourning the relationship. Everybody mourns.
It's okay for you to mourn it, but I feel like at some point you have to mourn it with your friends.
Right, leave me out of it. Right,
because I've moved on, and I've mourned. I can have that final conversation. I can have those, closure conversations with you, but we cannot continue to go back to that table.
Well, it's not a matter of. I can receive you saying, "Oh, I miss you, I love you," blah blah blah. Your what ifs, woulda, coulda, shouldas, and like she said, it's what I do with that at that point. If I can go back and say this to Dee, the first thing that she's gonna think is, "Oh, she's trying to get you back."
True.
Versus, well, as I told her, I said, well, she had some feelings that she's already expressed to me when we first dated, or we first met. We all ended up, because her ex is her best friend. Mm-hmm. I understand that having a friendship, a relationship with someone, just because our sexual relationship has fizzled out, or we have too many differences in between us, doesn't mean that the similarities that we have and the bond that we establish should just all disappear. And it's always so much matter of factness in an ex and not. That's why I said, no, go hear out her feelings, because if you don't, she may keep coming back, because I don't think you heard me. So no, you sit down and you have that full-on conversation with her, and then if after y'all had that conversation, I don't have to intervene in anything, because you know where I stand with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but then you have some who are just, they would never hear it, because I've got into a new relationship, but I've dated somebody who dated somebody, 2 people after me. But when I said, oh, I'm in a relationship now, they have a problem. And I'm like, this your fault. Like, I don't understand. I never had a problem with you moving on, so why is it a problem that I moved on?
Because they think that you're going to circle back to them at some point. Once they're hoping it's more of a boomerang than, I'm out. When you threw it out, it was gone. They waiting on you to come back to them, or for you, and it's a lot of self-centeredness in that part of
right. I feel like they're being selfish. Like, if you want to have a friendship, let's have a friendship and leave it at that. All the other stuff in between, it's unnecessary, because I don't want it, and I don't want it to cause harm to my new relationship that I'm in.
Absolutely. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'll agree with that.
What's your true thought, though?
Right.
Yeah, what you didn't give us your opinion.
You didn't give your opinion.
I mean, I'm just saying, I like what you said, Rah. Because sometimes, okay, being honest, I have been a person where I went to an ex, and I'm just letting you know, this is just for me to get this out. This is how I feel about what, happened with our relationship. I didn't like the way it ended. I'm not saying that I want you back. I know that you are in a relationship. I am not trying to step on any toes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we met up. We had a conversation. And that was that. I don't think that they ever told the person that they were with, that we met up and had that conversation. But, I mean, it was nothing like I didn't disrespect the relationship. I was just like, this is, we did start off, we had a friendship. So that's why I was just saying, we ended like very harshly. So let's, This
you
is just where I'm
wouldn't
at.
wanna do that with
Yeah.
the-
Yeah, you were mourning the friendship that y'all had, and you wanted to
Exactly.
kind of mend that, not the relationship.
Exactly. And so I was just saying, instead of just ending it how it ended, let's end it this way, you know? And we did that. And that was that. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, if that's what it is, if I'm with someone and their ex comes to them like that, you don't have to tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Long as you're not doing anything that would disrespect me or our relationship, I don't care what type of conversation you have with an ex. As long as it's not disrespecting the relationship, you're not disrespecting it and they're not disrespecting it.
You set it up though. You said it up perfectly. This is for me to get out. This is for, not to disrespect your relationship.
I did.
You set the tone.
I
So
did.
that's good. Like, others probably wouldn't do that.
And,
like that's
yeah.
that's what you have to think about. Like, you set the tone for the conversation.
Yep.
Yeah, but I also knew that when I came to her and said that, she could have very well been like, well, my girl already not comfortable about you anyway, just because of our history. So if she would have said, I appreciate you reaching out, it's all good, but, it is what it is, I would have been like, cool. Because that would have still gave me closure, because you still have an understanding that I did at least want to bring a better ending
To the
Right.
situation.
Yeah. So that would have been cool. But you are correct, because I have been in situations where exes are very disrespectful. So everybody's not like that. So, but then it just falls on your partner.
Right. It's all about how your partner,
partner
handles the
handles it.
situation.
And it's the same thing. You asked the question about friends. Do you cut off friends? And I honestly feel like sometimes friends and family can be in the same boat when it comes to
I was going to
relationship.
ask that too.
Because family can get real disrespectful, especially in our situation.
Oh,
Yes.
A same-sex relationship, when your family don't
Yes.
agree, like, you're not going to disrespect my partner.
And that has
it's the
happened
same
to
thing
me.
with friends.
Yeah, you're not gonna, that's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna disrespect somebody I'm with.
Yeah,
right?
that happened to me with an ex, and I had family members that had a problem with it, and my response was, well, you just won't see me. Like,
Right, absolutely.
Because what I'm not going to do is not bring my partner around, but sit here with, just for the sake of names, Sally Mae and John whooping Sally Mae ass, but y'all okay with that. So
He don't
I'm
have
not-
an outside baby and everything.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit up here with all this stuff, and we know known predators in our family,
Right.
and they're okay to still come to the barbecue, but I can't bring my girlfriend to the barbecue. Okay, that's good. How about I just don't show up? So, and I'm good.
Yeah.
And did it hurt? Yes, but at the same time, that's my mentality. Y'all grown-ups, you're not going to have a problem with me and my sexuality. You done lived your life. I don't know what the fuck you did in your prior life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
you're not gonna judge me. I will not come around before I allow you to
Be disrespectful.
be disrespectful.
Exactly.
And to me, I just take it as a disrespect to who I am too. It's not just
Exactly.
about
Yeah.
oh you brought that person like
But-
that.
but
It's
no,
not-
Like,
but-
exactly. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
do you love me? Like, that's the
Right.
question.
Exactly.
If you hate them, then you
I think
don't
family
love
think
me.
that they can separate. I think family feels like they can love you, but they don't love the person because maybe they turned you to this or something like that. You know,
Not
that-
knowing the whole
really
time.
that
Really, I'm the
foolishness.
gay motherfucker. Just so you know.
Exactly.
That foolishness. Like, have you met me? Like, somebody's doing something to my mind? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
So speaking of family, so when you're in a relationship, does that mean your family automatically meets your partner? And us being in same-sex relationships, how are you all with that? Like, about bringing your partner around any type of your family, any part of your family?
Well, I'm a little wild, I guess, because I introduced Dee to my entire family at a family reunion.
Whoa.
Oh, you put it all out there on the real.
When y'all were dating or in a relationship?
Oh, we were dating. They're like we were early on dating at that. So
I would have went to the reunion.
I already knew. She already knew she had the best thing that
She
was
knew.
going.
She knew.
So it was I already knew at that point. But so
And I introduced her to my family the exact same way at a family reunion.
We ain't even had no family I will guarantee you, it
But-
wouldn't be. That wouldn't be the first one. You'd be lying.
But the funny part is we wasn't just like, oh, this. So we were sitting, you know, at the family reunions, you have your little meeting rooms and things like that.
Mhm.
So we were sitting in there, and we in Mississippi at this.
Yeah.
So this is the real southern part of
Well,
the
you know,
family.
we all from
we all from
Mississippi.
I know. I just
I was just about to say,
you know, I tried to get that little big in there.
What part of Mississippi? That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, so we down what was it? Lake Titicaca or something like that?
Yeah.
Baby, I don't know that.
What part? What is that near? What city is that near?
Honey, I have no clue.
Lexington.
Oh,
I
so
don't
you
even know
okay?
what
I know.
Lexington is.
Lexington is
It's
going
like
towards
on the other
Grenada.
side.
Grenada. Okay,
Going
that's
towards
the Delta.
Grenada. No, the Delta is going towards Greenville, Clarksville.
Greenville.
Yeah, see, that's where my people are from, but we had the reunion on the other side. We
Okay,
didn't
okay,
know us,
Okay,
so you know
all
how
right.
it goes.
Give y'all a little
Distracted.
Mississippi
They so
Oh my
map.
But I introduced her. She was just sitting at a table, and I was going through a divorce at the time too, so that makes it a little bit more complicated. But
Wow.
no,
You definitely
Look, I need to drink to that.
but it wasn't a big deal kind of thing. But so she's sitting at another table, and I kind of was like, so I whispered to the one of my great aunts, and I was like, this is my friend, and like that, and she was just like, what happened to the last one? And I was like, I told y'all I'm getting a divorce, and she was like, oh, okay. So she gets up, walks around, and nobody else really had met her. My mom met her like that same day as we rode down to the reunion. So that was kind of awkward too, but it was funny. That's a whole nother story. So, but we get there and she screams out in the whole thing, oh, so that's the new one.
Oh, see,
Everyone, this is Dee, my girlfriend. And that's how she got introduced to the entire family.
And everybody was looking like, I was like, did she have to be that loud? She was like, welcome to the family. I was like, oh, thank you.
So pretty much everybody's in agreement when you're in a relationship that you're okay with introducing to the family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They probably met him before that. I'm sure.
yeah, with you.
I'm pretty
Yeah, with
sure.
Okay, so this one is a little different question. Could you all be in a long distance relationship? If not, why?
My preference is no. And why is because I need you here. It's no real reason. I think that maybe if I started out dating somebody and they had taken a job or something and they had to move and then I'm coming soon, then we can do that. But I almost broke up with somebody when they went for training for their job in 1 week.
She is not lying. Like, she is not exaggerating.
What?
I'm so serious.
But see,
That's some separation
No.
anxiety.
I have
This
very
one right
bad
here,
separation anxiety.
like, you literally,
I
she wants
need
you
you.
around all the time.
I need you here.
I was like, bruh, take a break. She wants you around all the time.
I need.
I feel you on
I
that,
need
though.
you here, but because I mean, like, what if I don't know anything?
Okay, hold on, wait.
Okay,
Let me ask this question though. Like, but is that healthy though to have like your partner around all the time? Like, because
That's
you
a whole
do
different
activities-
question. So we asking about just the long distance. We're gonna come back to that.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
We'll
we'll
circle back. We'll circle back.
Because I want to know everybody's opinion about long distance, but keep that one in mind.
I've been in long distance relationships, but it is very difficult to not go into those what ifs or why, you know, any break in the routine
Yeah.
is like a violation at that point with the
Yes.
long distance relationship. Now, if you stay down the street, you over in Garland and I'm over here, that doesn't constitute all the extra answer or a break in routine. You maybe just found something else to do.
Right.
But, you know,
And you can pull up and go on.
well, that's true
Right.
too. I can go see. I can check for myself. Where the other ones is just a whole bunch of series of questions and building anxiety within the trust part of it.
Exactly. Yeah, because I've been in a long distance relationship too, and it was just not good. They wouldn't answer their phone. I was like, okay.
And you get so much
All right.
anxiety around because this is the
third
time.
time.
Yeah.
Where you been for real? And so I know my anxiety, I know my mind. It go completely left. Like they just got hit by an 18 and 2 cars is piled on top of them right now.
That sounds like you.
And that's how I am.
That's what
so
they
I'm just
thought.
Like,
So Roxy, it's a no. Ashley?
For Roxy, it's a hell no.
Exactly.
For me, it's okay. So if you ask me right now, it's not my preference. But with my previous job, me being in the military, that's kind of what it was. I had to be that way. When I was in a relationship, when I was gone for 4 months, or I was gone for a year, like
Y'all can't see Roxy, but she done passed out.
She dead.
So like my first deployment, I was in a committed relationship, and I just had to up and leave. And sometimes the military is, hey, so and so got hurt, or we found they pregnant, they can't go, you have to go. Okay, cool, I got a week to leave. Or when I was in Korea, I was old. Actually, it was almost a year and a half. And at that place, even if I was married, they didn't allow. At the base I was at, we weren't allowed to have family of any type. It was just military people. So it was just something I had to adapt to. But right now, it's not my preference.
D, Nikki?
Oh, I thought it was
So I've been in a long distance relationship for over a year and a half, and like you said, like missed phone calls, not returning text messages. You know, we were doing stuff like sleeping on the phone together. You know what I'm saying? If I can't, I wake up and you ain't breathing or you ain't there, I'm calling right back to see, what's going on, and that's so difficult.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. Yeah, your anxiety, and that's the reason I'm in Texas, because I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. And then we were, when you do see each other, you're on such a high that and what we realized was when we spent a week together, it's like, you sure you want to do this? Because being in that hotel for a week and going to a different destination city, that's a vacation. That's not really getting to know each other until you're in each other's faces,
In your elements, in your own elements.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like, are we sure we want to do this? And then so I was just like, yeah, I'll move, but it's hard to do. It's not my preference, but I have done it. But I prefer somebody
Local.
that I can grab. You know what I'm saying?
Like 20 minutes.
Yes, because Frisco is out the door.
Nikki?
I'm saying my preference.
I haven't been in a relationship with anybody long distance, but I have dated somebody long distance. I would say like 4 hours. But at the same time, with that, because it was just dating, it was like, you might fall asleep on the phone when you're talking. You check in, like, what's up? How's your day? Little stuff like that. But you don't really take it that serious because you're dating.
Yeah.
And, I'm dating somebody else too. So you just get in where you fit in pretty much with that. But as far as like a relationship, I wouldn't want a relationship with anybody that's long distance. Because I need you here.
See, when I was saying it, everybody was laughing. But they sound like
Okay, so what about you, Amy?
Yeah.
What about you, girl? Let's go.
Well, so I am freshly out of a relationship, so this is kind of a hard topic. And my relationship was long distance, long distance. And I've come to the conclusion now, my next relationship, I need you here. So, can I do it? Yes, I did it. I was faithful. I was committed to it. But D, you pointed out a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're sleeping on the phone. We're on the phone, bruh.
All day.
All day. Like we're literally on the phone.
Battery
all day.
died.
Yes.
No, you kept that phone charged because the battery died. You
That's a
asking,
problem.
like, I'm serious.
That's
That's
a
a problem
problem.
because you like, why would you not charge your phone? I think what set it off for real for us was this quarantine, because now we're both not working, you know, so we have nothing but time. But then you realize you get to a point where it's like, man, I'm tired of just talking on the phone. You know, you argue, you can't make up in person. There's no hugging, there's no looking in each other's eyes. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care how much time you spend talking to each other. The first time that you miss calls or you can't talk to that person, if y'all go a day, your mind wonders. Because you're like, have you met someone else? Is there someone else there? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
the
a lot.
routine changes or something's going on.
And my relationship, my partner was in London. And so then there's the factor of you can't just hop on a plane and go see this person. You know what I'm saying? Because when I did the couple of times that I went over there, it was for a long period of time. But it just so happened to where things were set into place where I can do that. But that's not an all the time thing. So majority of our relationship was long distance, was on the telephone. And it's hard. It's very, very hard. It's extremely hard. So do I want it now? No. I do want a partner that's near. So I would say long distance for me at this point, I need you here. At the most, I need you in the DFW area.
Yeah.
So, quick question. This should be an easy answer for everybody. How often should you date while in a relationship?
Constantly.
You don't stop dating once you get a title.
Yeah.
You still date.
That's
You have
the
to.
start of the end of the relationship for most people.
Yeah. So I'll agree. Do you all believe in counseling while in a relationship?
Wait, can we go back?
Yeah.
So, okay, in reference to dating while in a relationship, is it something that you're planning? Like, hey, twice a month?
Sometimes.
Oh,
Does
I think that's a good
in-house
idea.
dating count? Like, hey, we setting up something romantic in the house?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm a homebody, so I'm all for that in-house.
I mean,
It needs to
especially
be a
with
mixture.
quarantine time, you have to set up
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
in the house.
Right.
New normal.
Right.
But I mean, it needs to be a balance, because you got to know your partner. If your partner doesn't consider us having a candlelight dinner in the house a date, then you know you're putting in the effort, and then that's gonna cause a huge problem. You gotta speak what they know.
Exactly, because then I'm gonna be like, oh, she don't appreciate shit. Like, that ain't cool. I'm putting all this time and effort into this, and you talking about you don't like it because we're in the house? Oh, okay.
So we were watching the show the other day, and the little boy took the girl out on a date, on a picnic, and they were young, so you know their funds probably was a little low, and he just had like he got looked like some fast food, but it looked just for one. And he had put it out in the picnic and she didn't consider that a date. He actually put time and effort into it, but that's not her idea of a date. And they had a conversation with, like, I want to be taken to a restaurant and this, that, and the other. So for me, we go to a restaurant, we go on to eat all the time. Like, is it a special kind of restaurant, just as going to the neighborhood Chili's or Applebee's or something like that? Is it necessarily? Well, sometimes you can do things. So what do you consider a date then?
If it's a date, we going to get like.
Black people always gotta say it twice.
Right, it's true though.
Date.
You know, we gotta go like, you know, maybe somewhere a little bit more nice.
We gotta put some clothes on.
Well, you gotta put some clothes on.
See,
like,
that's
you
not
know,
a date. That doesn't justify a date to me.
But and I think that's the key point, right? Is that if I'm planning a date with my partner, at some point it's about her, right? It's about what she likes, and she planning a date for me. At that point, it's about me and what I like. And I think at some point we have to be selfless when it comes to planning dates and stuff.
Selfless.
That's
key word.
I agree with that because I know mine. A date, we putting on some clothes.
Yeah.
So.
With me, we can throw on some jogging pants, and then we can go Hey, for me, I'm cool. I'm chill like that. Like, it don't have to be extravagant for me.
So do they have to tell you how to dress when they're going out on that date?
Yeah, for me, yeah. Actually, take off, put some real clothes on. Like all my friends know, I like my jogging pants and hoodies.
Even in the summertime.
So do you have to say clothes?
Yeah, clothes.
On you. Have mercy.
Okay, so this question a little more serious. So how do you all think that this is not Rah Dee, I know y'all are married, but I'm just saying like in a relationship, not married. How do you all feel about counseling while in a relationship?
Yeah, I'm all for it. Like,
I think
Even
you can
before
do
I got
counseling
married, I thought
anytime.
that counseling, either you going by yourself or them going, both of y'all go separately, not just necessarily a couples therapy,
I like
but
that.
go by yourself, figure out who you are, because when you get together, like I need to know the true you.
Right.
The representative, you're gonna meet me. I'm gonna tell you my flaws right then and there. Hello, my name is, and here you want to read this. I'm not gonna take those choices away from you, because later on, what I'm thinking I'm masking right then is gonna come back and make me hurt even more. Like, why did I lie about who I was? So, in knowing that portion of it, and you knowing who you are, you can walk the. I mean, that you can. It's just. I mean, it's self-explanatory. You want to make sure that you are giving your best you to someone that you are trying to commit to.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're just going to be the one that's suffering, because you're going to be unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to resent the person that you're with. Like, it's your fault.
Right, because you never showed them the real
Right.
you. Yeah, counseling definitely, yes.
Okay, very interesting. I'm all for counseling too. So, could you be with someone? Could you be in a relationship with someone that is in the closet?
As
Ooh, no.
as being somebody that was in the closet, I could understand it, and I would give you time to move past it.
Well, how
But
much
at some point, you gotta move past it, because it becomes a disrespect thing. Back to the whole disrespect. I just remember when I was in that situation, I didn't bring her around. They knew of her, but they didn't know of her in that capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, I felt like when I really look back, it was disrespectful, because if I say I'm with you and we're together, then there should be no reason that I can't bring you to around to be with my parents or my friends or whoever. Mm-hmm. I think that, at some point you got to realize, okay, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And everybody has to get to that point for it to work. Because what I'm not going to do is to continue to lie. Look, it is what it is.
That's my point. Exactly.
For me, I couldn't, because I go super gay whenever I can, but not so much as being. I'm a physical person. I like to hug anyway and talk and all that. But when I'm with someone, I am affectionate. I'm very affectionate. So me trying to think about, oh, I can't touch you here, or like this. It's a difference between me respecting the people that I'm around and me just having to ball up everything that I am to suit you.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, for me, no, I cannot date anyone that's in the closet. Be in a relationship, because I'm not like, bam, I'm gay. Like, I'm not wearing rainbows every day. But at the end of the day, if someone asks, yes. If I bring you around my family, they're going to know to respect you as my partner. Don't be talking about, well, John up the street, he know that you home. No, you know that this is, what I'm saying?
Right.
You know that
We've all gotten it. We've all
you
gotten
know
it.
that this is who I'm with. So no, I cannot date anybody in the closet, and do not bring me around your family and everybody being disrespectful, talking about, oh, that's your little friend, or your mama sitting there talking to you about some dude. Like, no, don't do it. I'm not for the in the closet thing. We ain't got to be walking around with flags and everything, but I'm not for the in the closet. at all.
I mean, if you
A
look
Nick
at
is
me,
not for in the closet.
if you look
Roxy
at me, you
either.
know. You know when you look at me and I'm with whoever I'm with, like you know.
Yeah.
So it ain't no hiding it for me.
Well, I don't know because when you just take regular friends home, my family be like, "Is this your new friend?" No, it's not. This is actually my friend.
You gotta say it twice.
Gotta say it twice.
Friend.
This is my friend. So you can't just expect them to know. You can't.
Yeah. No, I can't.
So pretty much, we're all in agreement.
It's a no.
No in the closet.
No.
We're out of the closet. Okay, so, what about dating or being in a relationship with someone that's non-supportive of your dreams or your passion?
That's a no.
No.
That's an absolute no because at the same time, that's what makes you you.
Yeah.
Your dreams and your passion. And if they're not supportive of that, then they don't support you.
They don't.
Absolutely.
So that's a no.
That's a no.
But
And I've been
see,
there.
but if I want to be a rapper, if I feel like, listen though, but listen,
Realistic goals. Don't do that dreaming.
that's what
Right.
it was. If I want to drop my mixtape at the end of this podcast,
It's a hell.
Let me tell you, no. Let me tell you, baby. I'll be in a relationship with you, and you can be trying to be a rapper, and you can drop that mixtape, but I need you to have some form of income. Now, if you need to be at home and set up a studio when you get off work, then we can do that.
There's a
Look,
big difference
do you wanna
between
do a
being
test
supportive
run
and being stupid.
And see what your numbers are like at the end of this mixtape that you drop.
But let me
And
tell
then
you,
let's
I'm
talk
gonna let
about
you know if the shit is garbage. Like, okay, baby,
That's a part of support.
this is not for you.
That's your lane.
This
You
is
in the
not
wrong
for you.
lane. Get out. Get out
Because
the
I
lane.
love you. I'm gonna let you know, and don't expect me to be at your show. Okay, I'm not coming.
be in the front, in the
the
front
front
row
row.
with a t-shirt on.
Baby, I don't want to mislead you, because if I know that you are no good, I will say, baby, maybe you need to manage, because you got a good ear
up there.
for them beats. You got
Throwing
a
the
good ear
shirt
for
up in
talent.
the air. Let me throw my little bra up there right quick.
No, I'm not even gonna lie to you like that.
No, moving on, so we clear. So, okay, well, speaking of, we just got to talking about rappers and stuff. Could you be involved with someone that's in the public eye or is extremely social? So let's say you are dating somebody that is maybe a rapper or just they're just out in the public. They have a social media presence or anything. Could you all date somebody that is out there? So they're surrounded by so many people.
I feel like it comes back to the person. It's a respect issue.
Mm-hmm.
If they know how to manage the relationship and if they know how to show you respect, then we good. Now, when you start showing your ass, we got a problem.
It's all about expectations and clarifying what are yours. I can't assume that, okay, I'm a celebrity and I'm dating you, and I got a lot of people. I can just be Instagram famous. People just share my picture or whatever. If it ain't bringing no money in, then we may have a little issues with it. But if you're an actor or a musician or something like that, then I got to look at it a whole different way. If you go off to work or you out in the war or something like that, you're away. I have to trust that whatever we built is stronger than whatever's out there.
Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good question because, I mean, a lot of these, especially musicians, I mean, they be having people throwing themselves. And athletes, I mean, they legit have women and men throwing themselves at your partner. So how do you handle that? Because at some point, people going to look at you and say, oh, you just got self-esteem issues. You know what I'm saying? Even though the blog's going to be saying stuff, Shade Room going to be saying stuff, it's going to be stuff out there.
And even not on a larger scale, I have a friend who is a local rapper, and I've literally been out with her, and females, I'm not her partner, I'm not with her, but they don't know that, so, but they see me, and it's like, all of a sudden, like, I'm sitting there talking to her, and here comes this little heifer, you know what I'm saying, mildly dressed, and she's throwing her ass in front. She steps in front of me like, oh, I loved your show. I loved your set. Can I get your autograph? And I'm thinking to myself, like, I want to be like, bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm keeping my cool, and I'm just sitting in my head like, I couldn't be your woman. Because I'm like, if I'm just your friend, your homegirl, and they're doing this in front of me, imagine if I was her girlfriend.
Yeah.
And these girls are doing this. And her being, you know, a local rapper, you know, she doesn't want to be rude. So, you know, stuff like that, I don't know. Because my mouth.
But to me, that's where she has to step in and be
check
like,
that situation.
And check her.
Yeah.
Like, because
But
it's not
y'all
you.
saying, but I'm telling you, this is the thing. When you're in that business, you have to be very careful. Because when you have fans, because as soon as she checks her, this person goes on social
You better
media.
do it in a
and they
polite way.
I'm just telling you, this is what happens when you check her. If she feels offended or she feels like you just didn't pay her no attention, her first thought, go to social media, make this whole she was rude as fuck and blah blah blah. So you have to be careful. So her girlfriend, like, as her, if I was her partner, I have to be mindful of that, and I just can't take offense to it. So yeah, but so we're gonna wrap this up because we have part 2 of relationships. As you can tell, we could go on and on. Relationships is a very serious topic. So does anyone have any closing remarks? Anything?
My mixtape.
Don't support that.
Oh, she rapping.
We don't support that. So don't support that.
Don't.
We appreciate you guys, though. We appreciate you listening in, tuning in, sharing our page. We appreciate everybody.
Oh, we appreciate everyone. There's been so many people that have shown us so much love. We definitely appreciate Rah and Dee coming to sit with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
And they'll be with us on part 2 of relationships, so that's great. As usual, you can always follow us on Instagram at lezhavecocktails. You can listen to our podcast on Spotify. And what is it?
Apple, YouTube.
And so on YouTube, we are listed under LHC Podcast. So all of our episodes will be uploaded on there. And if you have any questions, if you want to email us, you can email us at lezhavecocktails@gmail.com. Or you can hit us up on Instagram at lezhavecocktails. We do respond. We follow back. And we're always excited to hear from our listeners and followers.
Yep.
So with that being said, we're going to wrap it up. And we'll catch you all on part 2. And in closing, I would say, I do have a little bit of a shot. So I'm going to go ahead and take this little shot.
We'll drink to that.
And we'll drink to that.